Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another session of meditation. We're going to do about 20 minutes together. For those of you who are here for the first time, I just want to say that what I offer in these meditation sessions is something that is very simple, and I offer it as something to practice. That means something to try over and over again on your own in different ways. It's not something that I recommend you just try once and go, that's it, I know what it's like. It's really a practice. It's something that we get to come back to, like going for a walk or breathing or doing yoga or playing tennis. It's a practice. So with that in mind, I use the language of invitation. That means that I'm inviting you to try things, inviting you to notice things. And if there's anything that feels like something that you are not comfortable trying, then it's just fine to just not try that one thing, to just listen and see what comes up for you and noticing what it's like to have the choice to not do something that you're invited to do. But generally speaking, everything is pretty simple. And before we do anything formal like sit up straight, I'm just going to invite you to take note of the space that you're in, to notice what's around you. So I'm going to invite you to allow your eyes to wander through the space and look around. Notice the ceiling, notice the walls. I invite you to notice how far you can twist and look over your shoulder in one direction, and then slowly in the other direction. And as you notice yourself twisting, I invite you to notice what parts of your body move, from the base of your spine to your waist and your torso, to your chest and your shoulders, to your neck and the top of your head. What parts of your body do you feel moving? And I invite your eyes to really take in the space that you are in. If you could imagine being a young child seeing a space for the first time, what do you notice around you that's familiar? What do you notice that you haven't noticed for a long time that feels new? Can you pretend that something is new that you've seen for a long time? If there are any details in the space that you're in that bring you comfort or that you like to look at, notice what that comfort and pleasure in seeing feels like in your body. Does something open in your chest? Do you breathe a little deeper? And I'm going to invite you to take this exercise and do it as a slow motion neck roll. So we'll start from just sitting and feeling our bum on the seat that we're in. You can just wiggle so you make sure you feel it. And notice how balanced you are in your seat, how comfortable or uncomfortable, how tense or relaxed you can be sitting here. And then from this place of relative balance, I'm going to invite you to slowly drop your head forward. Slowly allow your chin to approach your chest and your chest to rise up a little bit and approach your chin. And for some of you, your chin won't go all the way down, and for some of you, your chin will rest all the way on your chest. And as you do this slow motion forward, I invite you to notice the stretch along the back side of your neck. How much tension or relaxation is there in the back side of your neck as your chin rolls forward? I invite you to notice what this does to your breath, what this does to your sense of space and you in the room. And as you continue breathing, I invite you to slowly roll your head till your ear is slowly over, your right ear is over your right shoulder. And as this happens, you'll feel a stretch in the left side of your neck. And I invite you to just notice what that does to your breath, to the sounds in the room, and your sense of space. And with the next breath in, I invite you to allow your nose to float up toward the ceiling. And as your nose floats up toward the ceiling, make sure that the back of your neck stays as open as you can allow it to be. Don't drop your head back because that can pinch your neck. But as your nose is floating up, and maybe even your chin is floating up just a little bit, allow yourself to notice a stretch along the whole front side of your neck and your jaw. Notice the sounds in the room and your breath. And then very, very slowly allow your head to bend down towards your left shoulder. Allow your left ear to approach your left shoulder. And now you should begin to feel a slow stretch along the right side of your neck. Be very careful and gentle as you do this. Notice your breath, notice the sounds in the room. And then very slowly, allow your chin to approach your chest and your nose to begin to point down toward the floor. And come back to center. And allow your chest to rise towards your chin as your chin falls towards your chest. And then very, very slowly, reverse direction. This time, I invite you to notice every part of your neck, from the base of your neck to your jaw and your chin, as your ear begins to float over your shoulder. And slowly allow your nose to begin floating toward the ceiling. Being mindful not to pinch the back of your neck, but to just allow your face and your chin and your nose to float toward the ceiling and the front part of your neck to stretch again. And very, very slowly, allow your other ear to approach your shoulder and allow your neck to stretch again on the other side. Very, very slowly, allow your nose to start pointing toward the floor and your chin to come towards your chest again. And from here, I'm going to invite you to allow your whole body to just rock forward a little bit. You might rest your elbows on your knees and then curl your back so that your shoulders point toward the ceiling and your abdomen goes towards your spine, as if you're doing a cat pose only in your chair. And then slowly come forward and allow your back to arch and your chin to come up, stretching toward the ceiling again. And then I invite you to allow yourself to move in slow circles with your whole body, allowing your head and eyes to guide you through your space. I invite you to do this with your eyes open and really see the floor, see the walls, see the colors, see the furniture. You might have a pet in your room or a person in the room with you. And again, switch directions. This is all about orienting us in space, orienting us in balance, orienting us in the sensations of how our bodies and our spines especially can move. And just notice what happens now. Where do you feel the circulation moving through your body? What feels different? What shifts from this little bit of moving slowly and stretching slowly? I invite you to turn to your left and stretch again. Maybe push your hand on your knee and look over your shoulder on one side. And slowly come back to center again. And twist in the other direction, slowly, slowly, slowly. And slowly come back to center again. From here, from this place of being a little more open, I invite you to just hear the sounds in the room around you. There may be people in the same room as you. There may be people in the next room to you if you're sharing space with people. There may be the sound of silence. There may be the sound of a pet. There may be the sound of your breath. If there's anything that you need to shift in order to be comfortable, allow yourself to shift. And I invite you to bring your attention to your breath. Starting at the base of your spine, rising up through your sacrum, rising up through your low back and your waist, rising up through the middle of your back, the thoracic area where your ribs make contact with your spine, to your upper chest and upper back, and shoulders. I invite you to notice the alignment of your body as you're sitting. So we'll start with where your feet are pointing. Do you have a sense of the direction of your toes and your knees and your hips? Do your hips point in the same direction as your knees? I invite you to sense or notice or imagine your belly button in space. In what direction does your belly button point? And is that the same or a little off kilter from your toes and your knees? I invite you to bring your attention to your chest and your shoulders and notice where you feel your chest and your shoulders oriented in space And again, does it feel like the same direction as your knees and your toes, your hips, and your belly button? And I invite you to bring your attention to the direction that your nose and chin and eyes point. And does it feel like the same direction as your shoulders and chest and belly button? And that from this place of noticing direction, I invite you to notice the subtle differences in how your body bears weight. What parts of your body support you in the posture that you're in, and what parts of your body get to be relaxed in the posture that you're in. And if there's anything that you'd like to shift or change, allow yourself to shift and change. And I invite you to bring your attention to your abdomen. You might bring a hand to your belly and notice the expansion and contraction of your diaphragm as you inhale and exhale. And I invite you to bring the back of the other hand to your low back and notice the volume of your body in space. Is it as large as you normally imagine your body to be, or as small as you normally imagine your body to be? Take in the sensation of holding this volume of your body. And notice how the volume of your body expands as you inhale and contracts as you exhale. And I invite you to notice now your rib cage. And if you notice your rib cage, can you feel as you inhale and exhale any movement of your ribs? Do they expand and contract as you breathe in and out? And can you take a deeper breath and feel the expansion of your ribs as you inhale? And feel the contraction of your ribs as you exhale. I invite you to bring the hand that was on your back to your chest. And again, feel the expansion of your chest, your rib cage upward vertically in space as you inhale, and downward vertically in space as you exhale. I invite you to notice your hands separating as you inhale and coming together as you exhale. And I invite you to notice the sensation of contact with your body. The sensation of pressure on your chest and your belly. The texture of your clothing in the palms of your hands. The texture of your belly and chest in the palms of your hands. And the sensation of contact. The sensation of holding. And the sensation of being held. With the next breath or so, at your own pace, very slowly allow your hands to begin to float away from your body, to unmelt from your body. And I invite you to notice the sensations that remain in your hands and in your chest and belly. And that's what we have time for today. So I thank you for being here, and I hope to see you again. Thanks so much.